The breaking news, Justin Momentum's news desk, is that Hurricane Irma practically wiped the island of St. Martin from the map. Unfortunately, some cities had been wiped off the face of the earth. On the morning of September the 6th, Irma's center crossed the island of St. Martin while the storm was near peak intensity, sweeping away entire structures, submerging roads and cars, and triggering an island-wide blackout. Irma's extreme winds ripped trees out of the ground and sent vehicles and debris from damaged structures scattered across the territory. On the French side of St. Martin, entire marinas around Marigot were left in ruins, littered with the stranded remnants of boats that had smashed into each other. A hotel caught on fire, but dangerous conditions and impassable roads prevented firefighters from putting out the blaze. Another hotel lost nearly all of its ground floor. Media images depicted devastated room interiors with furniture hurled around after the winds had shattered their windows. The hurricane destroyed an 11-bedroom mansion owned by United States President Donald Trump. Irma killed 4 people on the French side of the island and injured 50 others, one of whom was in critical condition. As many as 95% of the buildings there were damaged to some degree. 60% of those were totally uninhabitable. Estimates from CEDIM indicate a minimum of $950 million worth of economic losses. A similar situation unfolded in St. Martin, St. Martin's Dutch half, as intense winds ripped through buildings and lifted vehicles aloft as if they were matches. The hurricane wreaked havoc on Princess Juliana International Airport, with huge chunks of the building strewn across the runway and a jet bridge snapped in half. It demolished or severely damaged about 70% of St. Martin's houses, forcing thousands of residents into public shelters. There were 2 deaths and 23 injuries, 11 of which were serious, in the Dutch territory. Irma is considered the worst natural disaster to hit St. Martin. The extent of its damage far exceeded that of any previous hurricane. Prime Minister William Marlin estimates that at least €1 billion will be necessary to restore the destruction, while disaster analysts from CEDIM predict losses will exceed $1.5 billion. Irma left widespread destruction and disastrous flooding along its path over the French island of Saint Barthélemy, southeast of Saint Martin. Describing the extent of the destruction, one local compared it to a bomb that burned all vegetation, while another said that it were as if the hurricane had effectively erased the island from the map. Violent seas swept away entire coastal establishments, with one hotel being stripped of all but its foundation. Streets in the capital of Gustavia were turned into rushing rivers which carried away vehicles and pieces of furniture. The island's fire station was inundated with up to 6.4 feet, that is 2 meters of floodwaters. With scores of homes and much of the infrastructure destroyed, the majority of the island's population was left stranded and without water, electricity, or phone service. The associated economic losses could exceed $480 million according to CEDIM's analysts. Preliminary assessments from the French government indicate that Hurricane Irma caused a combined €1.2 billion in insured losses across the French territories of St. Martin and St. Barts. This total covered private property such as homes, vehicles, and businesses, including lost revenue. The extent of the damage to infrastructural and public facilities remains undetermined. Nonetheless, this made Irma one of the costliest natural disasters to hit the French Republic in the previous 35 years.